The Jewish Story. This week's story from the Holocaust is taken from the book Alicia, My Story, written by Alicia Appleman-Jurman. The cell door opened and we were ordered to move out. It must have been about 5 a.m. I held Eva's hand in mine as we all walked up the steps and lined outside in front of the police station. I was shocked to see how many people, easily 200, the Gestapo had been able to find with the help of our treacherous neighbours. May they all burn in hell, I cursed them. I knew my fate depended on which direction they would be taking us. To the right was the Fador, and a chance to escape. To the left, uncertainty. I was very relieved when they ordered us to the right. As we headed up the street towards the Fador, I whispered constantly to Eva, "Remember the river," I said. "Remember the tree. Run when I run. Don't look back. Don't stop until you are in the tree. I will hold your hand." These things I told her over and over, though she made no sign that she heard me. After a half an hour walk up the hill onto the Fador, we finally reached the stopping point, a giant grave carved into the sloping meadow. It was a grave like so many others. This one was not wide, but was very long. The SS guards ordered the people to line up side by side directly in front of it. I had made sure to be towards the end of the line. When the shooting began, I bolted, but Eva resisted and stood as though firmly rooted to the ground. "Come on," I cried, jerking at her hand. "Run!" But she just stood there, holding my hand in an iron grip. Now a new fear hit me. What if I couldn't get loose? Dear God, no. Then Eva loosened her hold, and I was able to pull my hand free, the force of release nearly throwing me to the ground. My brain said, "Run, run, Alicia," and I did run, half bent over and in a zigzag, so that if the SS saw me and fired, I would have a chance not to be hit. I didn't look back. I was weakened from hunger, and after a minute my knees wobbled, and I thought my heart would tear out of my chest. My entire body began to tremble, and I was beginning to lose feeling in my legs when I saw the river. I ran along the edge until I spotted the tree, and then plunged headlong into the cold water, coming up for air only once. Oh God, could I last? My skinny arms pulled me heavily through the icy water. Finally I reached the tree and felt for the underwater opening. Climbing inside, I pushed my way to the surface of the water. As I broke through, I grasped for air. The sweetest breath of life. I was shaking uncontrollably and gasping heavily, but I was safe again, if only for the moment. I knew they would never find me there. I stayed in the tree all day and shivered every minute. Outside I could hear muffled shots, the barking of dogs, some gunfire. Late at night I left the tree and swam to the opposite bank. I headed into the forest. I was wet and cold. I headed in the direction of Zazamek and stopped at the first farm. I stole into the barn, found some potato sacks and wrapped myself in them. I spread my wet cloth out to dry and climbed into the loft to try to sleep. But instead I kept waking and dozing off, tortured by terrible nightmares. I left early in the morning, before the farmer came to milk the cows. Alicia was 13 or 14 years old at the time of this story. Please pass on this story.